YouTube. You're tuned in for another episode of Tag Out and Drag Out. In today's video, I'm going to be talking further to some questions from my viewers and conversations I've had in my local sporting goods shops in regarding all these new calibers, all these new cartridges, those kinds of things. So last time I was talking about why there's so many new ones coming out, but in this portion I want to talk about exactly, are they any better than the existing calibers that already exist? Most aren't overly superior to existing cartridges. A lot of the new cartridges, however, are taking advantage of the faster barrel twist rates that people are using. And why are they using these faster twist rates? Well, it's like I've said before, they're doing that so they can take advantage of longer, heavier bullets. For an example, I'll use the 243 Winchester. So it's a very multi-purpose cartridge. It can be used for varmint hunting, target shooting, deer hunting, that kind of a thing. But one of the weaknesses of the 243 is that it can basically handle up to about 100 grain weight for a projectile. And if you look at some of the newer cartridges, say for example the 6mm Creedmoor, it can handle all the way up to the 115 grain weight bullets that have better resistance to wind drift, things along those lines, so they retain energy better, they have higher ballistic coefficients. In kind of general speaking purposes, usually the heavier bullets have better ballistics, they have better bullet coefficients. So like I said, they're affected less by wind and carry more energy at distance. And that's really the big thing, is people are wanting longer and longer distance shooting, be it for competition or be it for hunting. So that's that question. I'm going to move to my next question that I have from a viewer. So they were asking, do they think that any of these new cartridges are going to stand the test of time? If you look back just a number of years ago, there was this short magnum craze where they had, the 300 Winchester short magnum, the 270 Winchester short magnum, the 7mm Winchester short magnum. Anyway, and on it goes. There was many of those. And really the only one that's readily in use still to this day is the 300 Winchester short magnum. Somewhat of the 270, but the others are virtually non-existent at this point. They're not releasing new factory rifles in those calibers. So it is somewhat difficult to say which ones will stick around for the test of time. Generally, the cartridges that do stick around are the ones that are picked up by a wide range of manufacturers, whether they're releasing rifles in the caliber or whether they're releasing bullets in the caliber. Some of the ones that are released, not many companies pick up, and therefore it's a lot harder for them to stick around. It has a lot to do with the marketing job. If they do really good marketing for a bullet, or a cartridge I should say, it stands to last much longer than others. If you go with what's currently available, for instance, the 6.5 PRC, it is superior to a number of the other 6.5 cartridges, say for example the 6.5 Creedmoor, 6.5 Grendel. And the reason why I say it's superior is it has more retained energy at longer distances and even at shorter range, because it has a much larger powder capacity in it. So in my opinion, the 6.5 PRC is probably the best of the 6.5 calibers for hunting, and they've done a great deal of marketing by that caliber specifically. So I think the PRC cartridge, the 6.5, will stick around due to its mild recoil and effectiveness at long distance shooting and effectiveness on game. One of the drawbacks though of these newer cartridges is a lot of them are pushing bullets out really fast and using larger bullets, and therefore they'll have a somewhat limited barrel life. Actually, that's one of the drawbacks. But it's kind of like, if you're looking at cars, and if you're looking at, say, like a minivan, which would be very multi-purpose. It's not really good at any roles better than other vehicles in existence, other than it can just carry a lot of people. And so if you look at some of the older cartridges, that's kind of what they're like. They can do many, many different roles, but they don't do them extraordinarily well, but you can use them for virtually anything. So anyway, hopefully that answers that viewer's question. The next one, and this is going to be an interesting one, is they were asking me, in my opinion, which ones are actually going to stick around and which ones are going to fade away in the next few years. So as I was just saying about the 6.5 PRC, that one I think will be sticking around for a long time to come. It has very good ballistics, it's good for hunting, it's good in a lot of ways, and it's a very manageable recoil. And in the market recently, there's kind of this big craze with the 6.5 bullets. People are wanting to use that caliber. Another one that I think is going to stick around is the 6mm creedmoor. And why do I say that is they've done a great deal of marketing on that one, and it does have some really good uses. It's kind of like taking the old 243 but making it better by having a faster twist rate and being more efficient in burning powder. It can use larger, heavier bullets than the 243. It's kind of just more of an updated, better version in my opinion. Another that I think will be sticking around is the 6.5 Grendel. And why do I say that? Well, the 6.5 Grendel, well, it's not a flashy cartridge or it's so much better than other cartridges. It is probably the most capable cartridge right now in an AR-15 platform for hunting and for long distance shooting to an extent. Although now with the 6mm arc coming out for the AR-15 platform, they could definitely give the 6.5 Grendel a run for its money. But the 6.5 Grendel will still be superior for hunting purposes. Another one that I think, but it's very challenging to predict at this point because it just was released, is the 7mm PRC. I think it will stick around, however, because it's really similar to a 7mm Rem mag, but again, it's created so that it can handle the longer, heavier bullets, and it does have a bit more power. I think it's actually going to be an outstanding hunting cartridge. The recoil, from my understanding, is a little bit stiff, but it won't be too much that people can't handle it. So talking about cartridges that kind of came and went, there's a couple that I think they're really a pity that they never did better. Probably the biggest one, in my opinion, is the 280 Remington. Fantastic cartridge for many reasons. And then also the 280 AI, or the 280 Ackley Improved. That one is getting a little bit of traction, although it's been out for a lot of years already. It has very similar ballistics to the 7mm Rem mag. However, it has significantly less recoil, so it's certainly more pleasant to shoot. It's capable of really hunting any game, animals that exist. Whereas the 280 Remington is as well. It's just the 280 AI has a little bit better ballistics because it has a slightly larger powder capacity. The 280 AI is probably one of the best AI cartridges in my opinion. One of the challenges for a lot of these new cartridges, though, is it seems to be in the American and Canadian market, the 30 caliber or 308 caliber bullets tend to be seen as the best for hunting, and that's what people gravitate towards. It's maybe the European countries that have adopted some of the other cartridges more. They've been using the 6.5 by 55 for over 100 years for hunting pretty much everything from varmints all the way to moose and elk. So depending on which market you're talking about too may affect things. Thank you for taking the time to watch and listen to my content. Hopefully that's of use to you. So please forward any questions that you may have to myself, and I'll be happy to answer them with the best of my ability and the knowledge that I possess. Happy hunting and have a great day.